Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to make those saucy vocal chops like Fredagain and Serum, just like this. Alrighty guys, so that was the sound I'll be working on today, and if you're new here, I'm Josh with the Preset Bros, and our goal here is to break down the sounds that your favorite artists use so you can start using them too. Also, if you want to level up your production game, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps the channel out and helps us continue to bring you guys free content. Speaking of free content, we have a whole free preset pack for you today down below, so definitely go check that out. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's jump in. Alrighty guys, so we're going to break this sound down into 3 steps. Step 1, we're going to go ahead and load in the sample. Step 2, we're going to create a melody with that sample. And step 3, we're going to polish it off with some effects. Go ahead and stick around to the end because we do have one bonus step that might just change your life. So let's go ahead and hear that soloed really quick. Alrighty guys, so when you open up Serum 2, you have oscillator A over here, and you have a few options here. Traditionally, you would just load in a wave table and continue to create a sound, but what we're going to do today is we're going to go up right here and click on that, and then you can see a list of options here, and we're actually going to do the sample option. Next, this is where you want to go ahead and load in a sample, and since we're doing vocal chops, right, then you're going to load in your vocal sample. So let's go ahead and do that. So I just have this sample right here. Side note, this is a whole rap about having a pet goldfish that's being a gangster for Jesus. So I don't know if you picked up on that, but it's pretty lit. So go ahead and click on your vocal sample here. I'm using this one.
7 days of the week. Holy fans.
And go ahead and right click and then show in browser. And so this is the sample right here. So now you're going to open up Serum 2. Locate this sample, and we're going to drag and drop it right in here. So now that we loaded in the sample, we need to chop it up. So I'm going to right click right here on the wavetable, and then you'll get this little menu here. I'm going to go ahead and hit Slice Auto. So as you can see, now it has mapped all the notes. Now, a few really quick things when slicing up samples. You have this fun line right here. When you drag it down, it creates more slices. When you drag it up, it actually eliminates some slices. Also, when we did the drop-down menu, you might have noticed this slice manual option. And what this does is it allows you to manually move these lines. So if I have some like that and I go ahead and put it in the manual section, I can now move these slices and kind of control that a little better. I'm going to put it back in Slice Auto. We're going to bring it down. And now it's time to create a melody. Alrighty guys, so now for creating a melody, we're going to have to do that in a piano roll. So go down here and open up your piano roll, and what I recommend doing is finding just one note that sounds good. Like that right there, and let's go ahead and loop this section and make sure it's just bass and drums. So we'll loop this section right here. And then you can play it in with your MIDI keyboard, or you can play it in with your drum pads, whatever you want to do. Alrighty guys, so I kind of just came out with the melody. Don't judge it too hard. It was just really quick, took me like 30 seconds, but this is what I got. So at this point, now I like to move the notes around and find different little vocal chops, right? So I'll just kind of navigate the MIDI board. Like that's pretty cool. So and then you can just start kind of creating a melody and using your imagination and making something cool. Alrighty guys, so I have a melody that I built out earlier, and this is what it sounds like. So a pretty solid melody. Now that we've created that, let's go ahead and jump into the effects and kind of beef it up. Alrighty guys, so just navigate over to your effects knob right here. And when I think about post-processing a vocal chop, the first thing that comes to mind is we need some distortion. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some distortion. If you're going for that like EDM vocal chop, what a lot of people will do is they'll just hit it with all kinds of distortion, like get your like diode 1 setting or something, like either diode 1 or 2 or sine shaper or something ridiculous, and then hit a nice high and a low cut and kind of create this nice little pocket, kind of like Jack U or Skrillex. But right now I kind of just want to go with the chill, so I'm going to keep it simple and just do a soft clip. Next, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of compression on there, and I just want to keep control of it a little bit and give it a little bit of a squeeze. I found with the multiband setting, it kind of brings out some of those highs a little bit as well. Next, guys, I also want to give it a little bit of reverb just to give it some nice space. Alrighty, guys, and that's pretty much it for the effects. Nice, strong processing chain. You can never go wrong with the good old distortion, compression, reverb, throw in an EQ if you want. But yeah, just the basics. I mean, keep it simple, you know. There's nothing wrong with keeping it simple. Now for the bonus tip. So something to kind of beef this up and take it just a little further, I'm going to go ahead and grab a macro right here, and I'm going to map it to the reverb because we want to create a nice washout, so when it's going, it'll like go. And it just adds a little bit of movement there, so the vocals kind of get washed out and then they suck back in really tight at the start of the next section. To take it even one step further, we can also add an EQ here so it can cut out the lows. Let's go ahead and add that. So really quick, this should be a whole separate video, but if you want to create some good dynamics, don't just keep stacking things on top of each other. What you want to do is create the perception of more. So in other words, if you want your drops to hit harder, in the build-up before the drop, maybe dip the volume just a little bit. So as it's gradually going over time, it gets a little bit quieter. Maybe pull out some of the lows so it's nice and thin, so when the drop hits, it feels big, full, wide, and loud, but really it never went up in volume. You just dipped this one lower before it hit, right? And so that's kind of what we're doing here on the end of each phrase. So we can go ahead and add automation on this macro knob right here. So add a little modulation, right, just like that. So you see how it kind of gets washed out a little bit and then it sucks back in. It just adds some fun movement, and it's these little things that really add up over time to make your song stand out. Now, if you're going to pull off vocal chops successfully, you're going to need a vocal, and if you want to see where I got this vocal and how you can generate your own original vocal in less than 10 minutes, go ahead and watch this video next. Peace.